If you can take off one, two, maybe even three things from your to-do list this week, maybe push back, rain check a plan or two for the week to later in the month, this is the time to do it. It's your girl Panchita, and welcome back to Art, Animism, and the Astros, where we do collective reads in astrology, tarot, with a little bit of mythology and numerology thrown in. Last week, we did it. We hit and now have surpassed the midpoint of the Mercury retrograde in Leo. Praise. I hope that last week brought you some clarity in communication, some clarity on where things are moving forward and going for you. This likely could have looked kind of sticky, kind of uncomfortable. There could have been an end of some sort, but with an end brings a new beginning. I hope you got answers when it comes to that creative project, when it comes to that dating situation, whatever it may be. I hope this week you're starting with a bit of freshness, because boy, do we definitely need it, as the star of this week is our malefic, fiery planet of Mars. Mars is making so many moves this week and really kind of taking full focus, in addition to a full, powerful moon in Aquarius also taking place this week as well, that is talking to Mars very intimately. So what's going on? I'm filming this, as you can tell, totally different type of background, everything. I'm filming in the upright position. When it comes to keeping my schedule as light as I can in the midst of a week with about 1,000 to-dos, I knew I really wanted to get out a filming this week, but I just couldn't find the time to set up my desk, to, put the camera in a certain way, to even really do myself up that much. But the main thing is just getting the content out, and that's what's really important. And Mars this week, planet of action, planet of doing, planet that loves to be on the front lines. I'm filming this on Tuesday night, and tomorrow on Wednesday, he moves into the constellation of Libra. Libra is an air sign, all about equality, balance, justice. Libra is our collective seventh house of relationships that really stick. So the romantic and platonic relationships that we have in our lives that are long lasting. Mars is not at necessarily his best here. Mars is very impulsive. Mars does kind of think about the self, rather than Libra is very we focused. So he's not at his best here, but he is bringing a bit of innovation into how we do relationships, especially because Mars in Libra is also trining Uranus over in Gemini, our collective third house of communication when it comes to our community, kind of those outside players that we see often, maybe your local grocer, your mailman, the neighborhood folks that you interact with, how you communicate with them. And being that it's in a trine to Uranus, a planet that's all about innovation, we might be noticing some new qualities in the way that we are communicating with our kind of, again, the folks in our neighborhood, as well as the way we are communicating and taking action in our very close relationships. As if that wasn't enough, all of this is also trining the full moon and Pluto retrograde over in Aquarius, which also happens to be our collective 11th house, having to do with friends and groups. So basically every single type of relationship dynamic that we have in our lives, there are different planets that are speaking to that energy right now. With the full moon in Aquarius, which takes place this upcoming Saturday, it's really a peak and a culmination, sitting also with Pluto, a planet that has to do a lot with power dynamics. So what does all this mean? Basically, we're looking at all of the different ways that we communicate with all the different people in our lives, the way we take action in that communication, and the way that we're going to do things differently. Perhaps we're understanding our boundaries a lot better, the way that we need to communicate, the way that we need to come together in order to face the different power dynamics that are at play in our collective, in our community at large, in our world at large. Maybe understanding how much power we actually hold as a community and how we can use that for our betterment. As if that wasn't enough, Mars, also newly in Libra, is opposing both Saturn and Neptune. And this is a very heavy signature of our midweek, starting tomorrow, I believe, starting on Wednesday, and also moving through Saturday as well. We have this signature. So we may also find that in our personal lives, there is a bit of a stop. There is a bit of almost a fogginess, a halt to something that was underway in kind of our personal endeavors, our personal life. So I'm hoping that we kind of come to all of this energy with a bit of ease. Again, kind of clearing up our schedule as best we can, because there's a very strong possibility that this week we're going to be taking in a lot of energy. We're going to be seeing a lot of different people who hold all of these different kind of dynamics, all these different relationship dynamics, who are in all these different categories in our lives. I definitely think it's a good time to take a breath before saying things, to really think. We are still in Mercury in retrograde. Luckily, again, we're past the midpoint. Let's see what the tarot has to say for a little bit of context. I already did some shuffling, but I'm going to do a little bit more. Let's do a nice little 3-card pull. I would think, given that there's so much air energy, oh, hello, we may see a bit of swords come out. I don't know, we may see a bit of that fiery Mars energy come out. Let's kind of take a look. And if you're already seeing a lot of this energy resonating in your personal story, well, congratulations, it's already underway. It's very normal, even though the signature of these different transits might be taking place on a specific day. It's very easy and normal for us to be feeling that energy, sometimes even a full week in advance. And it just means, I always look at it as, it just means that we're very connected to what's going on. It would be odd if we weren't kind of feeling these different things, if we weren't feeling all of these really significant changes kind of take place. All right, I'm getting the stop. The first card, I actually had a card fall out, and then I'm going to pull 2 more. Our first card of the day is the King of Cups. Wow, so we did not get swords energy. Instead, we're getting very watery energy, where both Venus and Jupiter are currently together in the constellation of Cancer, which is really, well, I don't want to say the water sign of water signs, but I mean, she is flowing. King of Cups also very much gives me that Jupiter in Cancer energy. And this is a card that is all about reigning over the realm, the category of your emotions, staying in control, knowing that it's important to be balanced, to do those belly breaths, and to really ride the waves rather than feel conflicted by them and overwhelmed by them. We're moving through things. The really amazing thing is, after this week of all this interesting Mars activity, we then are going to have a beautiful conjunction between Venus and Jupiter in the constellation of Cancer. And Jupiter is oftentimes paired with Zeus, very kingly energy. So I'm definitely getting that with the King of Cups, remembering that abundance is around the corner. This is a beautiful energy and coming together. Venus and Jupiter, I love their relationships. Throughout mythology, it's often thought of as the father and the daughter, and a really wonderful example of that type of relationship, that type of dynamic, and being that they're both in Cancer, which is our collective house, kind of the mother, of the nurturer. It's just really wonderful, balanced energy of both masculine and feminine. So right off the bat, we're being reminded that even if this week is shaky and overwhelming, there is really a lot of beauty, a lot of abundance, and a lot of good news coming. That's what that signature on Monday is really telling us. The second card that we have, is the Sun. We are pulling it upside down, which is saying that at this moment we kind of may feel a little bit kind of stopped a little bit of halted, a little bit of questioning our purpose, our authenticity. Are we going the way that we should be going? Being that Saturn and Neptune are retrograde in our collective first house of Aries, there is a lot of confusion. And again, that's what Mars is opposing this week. There is kind of that stop sign, that overall halting, and it might make us question a lot of things and ask those deep questions of who am I, what am I doing, what is my purpose, am I on the right path? But please know this, whenever the sun is pulled, whether reversed or upright, this is an extremely positive card. So remember that you shine bright. There is no one else like you. You got this. What is happening right now is for your greatest benefit. And the third card in our poll, that we're getting is also, here we go, oh my gosh, so we got a lot of water energy, is the 5 of Cups. This is really understanding that pain bears growth. The wonderful thing is this is reversed. We are moving past the hardship. We are moving past the adversity. What is happening both last week and this current week, we're going to move past it once that Venus and Jupiter conjunction comes in Cancer. We're going through the hard stuff right now, which is going to make us stronger. We are moving past it. And we're really experiencing, what I'm getting from this, the full spectrum of life right now. We are experiencing abundance and extreme heartbreak. We are experiencing beauty in our community and really seeing really awful things in our world at large. There's a lot of dichotomy going on at once. There's a lot of opposition going on at once. But overall, it is making us stronger. It is bringing us to something new. I'm getting that I should pull a 4th card. So the final, oh wow, is the Knight of Pentacles. Wow, which is all about working strategically. Step by step, we are moving forward. The Knight is, really kind of that Mars energy. Mars is such a strategic, forward moving, front lines type of planet. And I'm also getting as well, this is bringing a lot of Uranus energy also. Uranus, again, is over in Gemini, really kind of shaking up the way that we do communicate, the way that we philosophize, the way we may write music or write a poem. Geminis are so gifted when it comes to the written word, how they use their words. And we may be finding that we're doing this really strategically. It also helps as well that the full moon in Aquarius happens to be sitting very close to the goddess asteroid Pallas Athena, who in mythology essentially came forth out of Zeus's head. So she's thought to be very intelligent, very strategic, and this energy is very strongly here with the Knight of Pentacles. So what a fantastic pull, what a fantastic read. A lot more water energy than expected, which is fantastic given that it's really showing that abundance that's coming with that Venus-Jupiter conjunction. But I'm definitely seeing the heated Mars energy. Look at all those colors, very fiery. I love it. I hope this was helpful. I hope it gives you some comfort. You got this. Don't worry. Practice those belly breaths again. Take a few things off of your to-dos. Look at your to-dos, whatever you can push to next week or even the week after. I definitely recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Adios.